Hello there. So, recently been watching X-Men 97. So I've done the reviews up to, I've done weekly reviews up to episode 5. So the last couple of weeks, I've still been watching it on a Wednesday, but I've just not got around to doing my weekly reviews. So this is kind of a triple whammy one before next week's finale. So I've got my reviews and spoiler talk for 6, 7, and 8. These will just be really brief reviews and things, and we'll go into more spoilery stuff. There'll be warning before we go into spoilers, so don't worry if you haven't had the chance to see them yet. So, just briefly, overall, yeah, I'm really enjoying this series as well. I'm not quite sure. I think next week will tell if whether I think it's quite as good or on par or whatever with the first series. But it's definitely been a really good follow up. There's some really strong stuff here from these episodes here. I think episodes 6 and 8. And yesterday's one being episode 8 being particularly strong. 7 was still quite good, but it was a bit fillery. In fact, I had to look it up to find out what happened because I kind of forgot what happened in it in the last week or so. But I still enjoyed it. I was like doing the recaps, like, oh yeah, that's fine. So at 7, we won't go into so much detail about, but 6 was very good. That was really strong. Picks up as well from the stuff earlier on with Professor and with Apocalypse. So that was really well done. Another new character that was introduced here worked really well. Great cliffhanger as well with that one, and that leads into episode 8 perfectly. So, and as far as episode 7 goes, yeah, it was fine. It was decent enough, but it did feel like one of those filler episodes. I was entertained by it, don't get me wrong. It was one of the weaker ones, not just of this season, but over the 2 seasons. But it was still good though. I wouldn't say it was bad at all. I was still entertained by it. It just didn't have quite the same oomph from the week before. But then it picked up significantly again with episode 8 yesterday. Really, definitely one of the best of the season so far. Up there among the best. It has some really great character moments as well, and some really great action. But particularly the one in between two characters, the real heart of this episode works extremely well. We'll get into that in the spoiler section. But yeah, that's just my non-spoiler thoughts on episode 6, 7, and 8. A little bit condensed with that because I didn't get around to doing all of them weekly. But now we'll go into some spoilers. So if you've not had the chance to see it yet, this is when to get out. So I mentioned episode 6. We picked up with the stuff with Charles and Apocalypse. So you see some really great scenes with the Danger Room when he's like reliving the moment when Magneto gets killed in there by Apocalypse. That was really well done. That was really effective as well. So I thought that worked as well. It's just sort of shown what the psyche of Charles was at this time. We bring in the other, I think it was Magneto's daughter. Can't remember what she's called, Cyclone or something like that. I can't remember what she's called. Anyway, but so that actually worked really well. Some really good action scenes with this as well. So this was a very entertaining episode, and the cliffhanger I mentioned at the end was that you see like Gambit resurrected as one of Apocalypse's horsemen. So that was a perfect cliffhanger, which didn't come till 2 weeks later, but still, whatever. Episode 7 was pretty good still though, and even though it wasn't as good, it was still got the usual good themes and things like that. With it, you had like the president, not the president, but the politician, that Garrison Cade, I think he was called, and the Magneto's radicals had like. Abducted him or threatening to execute him unless the X-Men um, released some of the other mutants as well. And you've got Nightcrawlers essentially trying to stick up for him. It's not so much stick up for him, but in a hard place as well with that, but trying to almost plea for humanity in a way, which was a good yin and yang with that, because of the way, of course, this politician isn't going to do that with the mutants, is he? So, I thought that was effective. So while this was a little bit of a filler episode, I still think that a lot of stuff was effective and I still enjoyed it. And we come to yesterday's episode, which was really damn good, one of the best of the season. And like I mentioned, it was focused mainly on the relationship between two characters, and that was Rogue and Gambit. You've got here Rogue having a dream at the start with Gambit in there as well, like almost like foreshadowing and stuff like that. So yeah, she had a nice little character moment earlier with Nightcrawler as well. And then she ends up, and you've got as well Professor using Cerebro to try and find Gambit, and then finds out that he's in like Louisiana. So Rogue goes for him, and then finds out as well that with him in the state that he's in, she can't use her powers, doesn't work on him. So as well, and she was like saying, "Oh, it's true, your life flashes before your eyes before you die," and that. And then she gives you that thought of, and of course she tries to use the power, it doesn't work. Then Gambit loses this like sleeping spell thing and knocks her out. It takes her away, and then Nightcrawler comes up to try and save her, and then he knocks him out too. Captures him, and then we come like the big finale and all that. With that, of course, you've got what's his name? Nathan Summers, that's it. He's wanting to kill Gambit because you like Apocalypse is in him. So that's his way to try and get in to kill Apocalypse. But it's all the other X Men, especially like Scott and Jean, are trying to stop him from doing that. And the Professor as well, like goes into Gambit's mind and then confronts Apocalypse in that as well. But Rogue and everything like that they manage to pull him out. I think so. And then you've got Nathan's really kind of pissed off that he's not been able to do what he wanted to do with that, and then Gambit's still, we've got him like out in the stretcher, so we're not quite sure how he's going to be after that, if he's going to be okay or if he's going to go back to normal, or if he's still going to have Apocalypse in him. So yeah, all really good. We're all set up for a great finale next week. So yeah, overall, really enjoying this series. And yeah, so that was just a quick condensation of the last 3 episodes, since I didn't quite get to do my usual weekly reviews, but we'll be back next week to do the finale review. So anyway, thanks for taking the time to listen, and goodbye.